name is Dustin L and I am placed at Gabriel's Place. Gabriel's Place is a gardening nonprofit in the Avondale community. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to be here. It means a lot to all of us to have community support, and so we can share out some of the things that we've learned and instances where we've grown over this thing. So I've been given the coveted first after lunch spot, so I'll try not to bore you to death. But if you need to nap, that's perfectly fine. So the things that I've learned over the past 10 months will stay with me for the rest of my life. The lessons have been so profound, and I'm still in the process of even interpreting them all. I've really enjoyed being a public ally, so much so that I've applied for and have received fellowship with Public Ally Cincinnati. So I'll be I've learned a lot about my leadership style, working in group setting, communication, volunteer coordination, and about creating genuine community involvement and creating an inclusive community. So I grew up in rural southeastern Ohio and was surrounded by people that were all the same. White, working class, working poor folks. I was taught to veer diversity, difference, and difference, and to opt instead for a safe life in the country. Public Allies has helped me tremendously by encouraging me to continue to experience and embrace discomfort. Working at Gabriel's Place has been an amazing learning experience and further confirmation that city and country folks are not really that different, especially when they share the same class status of poor. A large part of the work that I do at Gabriel's Place, my partner organization, is coordinating volunteers and work projects in the garden and the surrounding property. During my time at Gabriel's Place, I've coordinated and completed various projects with volunteers, including a reconfiguration of our grow space in our garden to increase the amount of produce that we grow on site. And installing a fruit orchard. I feel like I do a pretty good job of communicating work tasks to volunteers and offering advice on how to work more effectively. However, I've learned early on that planning for volunteers is crucial. I have had some difficulties due to lack of planning, knowing how many volunteers are coming, all that needs to be done, and what volunteers are good at, and then having a clear backup plan just in case things don't go as planned. Having these things I've learned is really important to provide meaningful service learning opportunities, and I'm glad to have experienced these challenges in the Public Allies sphere because I feel more prepared for larger service days that we have coming up later on this summer at Gabriel's Place. Part of the Public Allies experience, as you all have known, or as found out rather, is the planning and implementation of a team service project. The team that I had the pleasure of being a part of was tasked with designing and installing a food forest at the Lago Earth Center located in Price Hill. A food forest is a garden that is installed in a forest-type setting, and instead of annual plants that you would plant in a traditional vegetable garden, like tomatoes and peppers, we went and planted native fruit and nut trees, such as persimmons and pawpaws. The forest produces food for visitors and wildlife, and it is also a way to beautify an existing green space. This project was really inspiring to me, and I'm thankful that I got a chance to do it. I'm a nature lover. I grew up in the woods. I've had years of gardening and landscaping experience. I took a lead role early on because I made a passionate appeal to my team members to pick this project as their top choice. I convinced them that they wanted to do it. I enjoy getting things done and seeing the results of hard work, and part of the reason I wanted to do this project so badly is because I could see that the end result was tangible and visible. So during the service year, I discovered that my leadership style is very direct, hands-on, and sometimes can be a bit heavy-handed. I'm not always good at communicating needs to others, and I opt instead to do tasks myself because I have trouble asking for help. This can lead to communication problems and can be frustrating to others, especially in a group work setting. I'm glad that someone very close to me pointed this out before my teammates became further disengaged. I learned that stepping back in my leadership so that others may move forward is a good thing. I learned some valuable lessons about group dynamics from my fellow teammates that will help me tremendously in all of my future endeavors. My communication skills have gotten much better because of this experience. The greatest lesson that I've learned during the team service project is that it is okay to ask for help. The project was a success because of my teammates' willingness to step outside of their comfort zones, and I'm humbled to be a member of this team because of the hard work that we did. So we had a training early in the program year before Make a Difference Day that invited the class to consider all of the reasons that people serve and to look at the act of service through a critical lens. This was kind of a new concept for me. I had been so focused on the how of service that I hadn't really given much thought to why I serve. And I've kind of grappled with this concept since then. I think about it often in my service, and I'm trying to continue to think about this concept. During this training, we read a poem entitled "The Lovers of the Poor" by Gwendolyn Brooks that spoke of the Ladies Betterment League. The Ladies Betterment League is a group of affluent ladies who give generously to the poor. They arrange to take a tour of the slums, and they are appalled at what they see and how starkly different the lives of the people that they serve are from that moment. Unlike the Ladies Betterment Society, I've not been able to retreat in my life into creature comforts, and in many ways, I'm in kind of the same boat as those whom I serve. I have a hard time taking a holiday charity approach to service. I recognize the value of that, but it's poor people are hungry all the time, and not just around holidays when we feel like eating. When individuals and organizations throw money at problems that communities face in place of meeting people where they are and seeking community input to assess needs, or asking whether the community really needs anything at all, we assume that we know what's best for people. When we do this, when we do not seek community buy-in and input, we run the risk of imposing our values on people and furthering the divisions between us. Being a public ally has taught me to address the needs of a community from an asset-based approach. By focusing on the assets that the community already has, we have a better chance of receiving community buy-in and creating a more inclusive environment at the organizations that we work at. I'm looking forward to my next term of service with Public Allies, and I'm excited to continue my personal and professional growth. I've learned so much already, and I know that I will continue to grow in the Public Allies model. As I go into my next service year, I will rely on the lessons that I have learned this year. I would like to thank you again for taking the time to be here, and I'd also like to thank the Public Allies class of 2012-2013 for making this service year one of the best experiences.